What's going on, y'all? It's Greg. Greg said it. Back with another one. We have an inspiration, motivation. We had a nice live today. Shout out to all you all who was there and support us. All the subscribers. If you're new, if you've been following us for a while, haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And as always, give us some likes, help the algorithm to get out. You know, we've been talking about this situation with Coach Prime. It's a new thing. His sons are gone. And there's a lot of talk about him leaving and going to the NFL. And before that, it was the SEC and all these different things. And I think a lot of times we look at him differently. I know he sells. He's a great salesman. He sells a lot of things. And when he moves, it's handled a lot different. There's a lot of emotion tied. Maybe pull on a lot of emotion when he goes to certain schools. And as far as the situation he's been in so far, it needs a lot of hope and turning the programs around. I know Jackson State is back on track. They went and won the Celebration Bowl. Things are still going well. But it was a period of time where they struggled. And he kind of brought that excitement back, not only there, but to the HBCUs to help bring that light on, giving it national attention. A lot of the guys that he brought from Colorado came from that HBCU. We have one Heisman, the only one that's ever played HBCU or FCS, and he's a Heisman winner, Travis Hunter. So there's a lot of things that he brought. And I see some of the similarities with what's going on in Colorado. He's bringing a lot of excitement, a lot of money, a lot of energy back around that program and that school as a whole. It's always been a good school, but when it comes to the sports, especially the football, and the history has had, a lot of people been missing out on it. So Coach Prime coming back definitely brings some excitement back to the program. I would say that it's probably better, you know, it hasn't been the consistent winning tradition, but just the hype, and people outside of the football world has been even attracted to this. And I think that in that way is a lot of similarities. Like a lot of people went to Jackson State and supported them because he was there. They never really supported HBCU, even black people. And then there was some non-black people. And it just really created a lot of energy and excitement and eyeballs around it. And that's what he brings. If anything, that's what he brings. Of course, they won there as well. And one thing that people have always feared, and people wonder how long he would be at Colorado. Would he leave? How long would he stay before he leave? And what would it go back to? Or would it continue? Or what would change? I think a lot of people are concerned about that, especially Colorado fans. They want to enjoy this ride as long as possible. But I think realistically, I think that we all understand that it can all end faster than you expect, the same way it did in Jackson State. And it creates a lot of different emotions. One of the things that supporters have a concern about is the image component, where some people would feel a certain way if he left. And you can't avoid that. And it's also the emotional connection that they have developed with the program. Now, I know some people going to float and openly and freely will tell you they're going to go wherever Coach Prime goes because they're there for him. And they're not necessarily a Colorado fan. They wasn't a Colorado fan before. And a lot of people felt a certain way about that, especially when a lot of the fans came over. Like, oh, you just a Prime fan. And some people like, yeah. And it's like, well, if he go, we going. And I think that's probably most of the fans. But some people would get attached to the Colorado, and it'd be hard to do that again. It would be hard to do that emotional journey. I think some people fell off in Jackson. And maybe some came for the whole black HBCU component. And then whoever come to Colorado was just true Prime fans. But with change, sometimes it just triggers people. I think when people go through all this emotional back and forth, it reminds them of certain things in their life sometimes, and it bothers some people more than others. I believe that wherever Coach Prime go, he's going to have success whenever he go, and if he don't go, of course, it's because he's having success. But I think at the end of the day, I think we all understand, despite everything that's been said and hoped, he's going to do what's best for him like everybody else, like you're doing your job. Some people got a job and they work it and they make a lot of friends, but opportunity come, they'll leave. They'll cry all the way out the door, but they're going to take that raise or that promotion. Nobody really gets locked in, no matter the emotional ties that they have and their commitment, because you're supposed to be committed where you are. And that's definitely the case when it comes to college football. when it comes to coaches who go from one school. They all talk that talk, and then they go to another school and they all for that one. And that's the challenge that people, how do you do that? How do you be present where you are? I think players are doing it now. They with NIL and the transfer portal, they be hey, and then boom, they over there. And it's very natural in sports because that's what you deal with. If you go to the professional level, they can trade you 100 times. They cut you, you got to join another roster. Coaches get fired. Coaches get promoted. It's very much part of it. And I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. I believe that Coach Prime could stay for at least another year, maybe even 2. But I think that we need to all be realistic because it comes with life. I think a lot of us can relate to our personal careers when you say, okay, I left this job, I went to that job for a better opportunity. Sometimes people was fired. Sometimes it was misfortunate situations. But I think that we all, if we really think about it and sit back, we can relate, whether it's happened to us directly or our family members or whatever. We all can relate. And we need to just be understanding that it can happen, and it probably will happen at some point. And that contradicts the whole buy-in and all the connections you've made and the commitments you've made and the hats and shirts and all that. It definitely goes against all of that. But so does life. You're working at Frito-Lay and you're at Coca-Cola. You're wearing Coca-Cola shirts. And it just comes with the territory. And I just want to remind people of that because it's no different. And we can't get so emotionally caught up into the point of, well, this was said, that was said. Because like I said earlier, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes that'll make changes happen, make people change their mind and all of that. You just don't know. So we just have to go with this thing because people make their own decisions for their life. Just like you going to make decisions for your life. Sometimes people up and move their family across the country to a whole nother country. They got to leave family and friends behind. Yeah, it's going to be a tough thing, but they're looking forward to what's ahead of them more than what they're leaving behind. I'm assuming if they're making that decision to leave. So I'm just wondering, what are the implications? What are the situations behind all the conversation and all the rumors and all the things that have been talked about, the conversations being had? Because I know we experienced it at Jackson. Like, no, that ain't happening. Oh, there's no way going to Colorado, like I said. And we hear a lot of different things. And then when certain stuff happens, you be like, but you said you did? Now, I don't get all of that. But I do get that sometimes things do change. Sometimes you didn't want to do something, but the opportunity of the situation made you have to do it. And some stuff you just can't turn down. Whatever combination of variables that make it where it's something you just got to do. And we don't know these things, whether it's financial, whether it's situational, whether it's some situations as far as people behind the scene that make you have to move on or make you have to consider other things. You may not even want to. We see that in jobs all the time. People may love their job, but they may not like the supervisor, they may not like the boss or the new boss that come in. And that may play a role in them deciding, you know what, let me start looking. You know what, this opportunity showed up, I think I'm going to take it. And that could be just a personal decision. And it may not have been something you was planning to do. It could come up at any time. Or you could be a person actively looking. If it pop up, I'm going to consider it, or I'm actually looking for it. Some coaches actually live like that. They're looking for the next thing. I'm not saying that Prime is like that. I don't think he's like that, but I heard enough comments say he'll be a fool not to consider certain situations. And that's what we are with y'all. We're going to see. Time will tell. But I'm just glad what Greg said it. Again, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment. And we're going to ride this thing out, y'all. There's so much more to come. And time will tell in the end. And we all see. Y'all have a good one. I'll talk to y'all soon.